None.
0. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the program. The honcho is running behind, but he will join us momentarily. We will also be joined by our mystery guest in a few moments, so be sure to settle in. Yeah, I guess that's kind of all we got for an intro this week. Low energy. I feel like we're just we just show up. We're like, here it is.
Yeah. Two insomniacs.
Right. Anyhow, stay with us. We'll be back after you watch our kick-ass opening sequence.
So finally, I opened this thing. So I hope everybody enjoyed the unboxing. Finally, the epic opening of the gung ho. I finally got to it. You've been waiting for it, and there you go. There you go. So gung ho, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to somebody else's show. I've taken over, and Mark's gonna be late because I sent him on a wild goose chase. I had him go and look for a few metric adjustable wrenches and a replacement disgronificator for my car. So Mark will be a little bit late. Mark will be a little bit late. Secret guest, and it's it was built up, and it turns out that it's not Don Johnson. So I understand your disappointment. I sympathize with you. You guys were hoping, knock on wood, for Don Johnson, and now it's just the guy who had the show. He had the guy that had the show that didn't have the show anymore. So just that guy. I know. But fortunately, guys, Mark will be here. So Mark will save the show. Mark will save the show. Hurry up, Mark. I'd send him snipe hunting. But he'll be back. He'll be back. I'm sorry that the Irizarry guys aren't here. I ate them. They were delicious. No cliches, no Chianti and fava beans. Frankly, Mike wasn't that good with fava beans. I had to use lentils. So, so no jokes, no Silence of the Lamb cliches. So anyway, hello everybody. Who we got here? Hello Zaymod and Rekship. Hey, it's Marianne. Hello Marianne, how you doing? Why am I doing this? I don't know why I'm doing this, because I want to show you the shirt. I got the shirt. See, I am what's on Joe Mind now. I am the show. I am the show. I am the air. Hello everybody. Welcome to COBRA Convergence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I supposed to introduce the other guys? Oh, I think maybe I'm supposed to introduce the other guys. Okay.
Now back to what's on your mind.
Hey!
Oh, we're just back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You left you twisting on the wind long enough.
I appreciate that. No, I can carry the show.
We know that's why we had to come back, frankly.
Okay, I can carry the show.
They were just reminding everybody that they like you better than us.
No. No. They're just here. They're just here for the gung ho.
the long-awaited gung-ho unboxing, unpacking, whatever
and now everybody is glad that they did not miss it. So, congratulations, guys.
So, anyways, joining us tonight, you know him of stage, screen, and television. That's Brian Lower in the bottom half of the screen there. It is Hooded Cobra Commander 788 for all you YouTube types. Dragging him out of retirement one night only. Here for the laziest Cobra Convergence crossover in the history of Cobra Convergence.
Woo!
Lazy, that's my speed. That's
right.
That's
lazy
it.
Bastard podcasting.
I can do that. I feel like the standards are low enough.
Right. And also in the top corner, Ragtime Rob, that guy.
Hello, all you happy people.
I met both of them in person. I can confirm that they are real and three-dimensional. So if there was any doubt, can confirm their actual existence.
And you make mention of the What's on Joe Mind t-shirt that you're wearing there. It was even rarer sighting was that Rob was wearing a t-shirt. That t-shirt in Georgia, because Rob never wears t-shirts. If you're seeing Rob without a collared shirt, that's akin to a Bigfoot sighting.
Well, it was really hot. You know, I really think you need to ditch the collar for that. Just that environment, it's probably a bit of a safety thing. So it's a smart move.
I have to say the hotel did have the air conditioning cranked.
That is true. Yes.
Right.
If you're inside, if you're inside, you need a parka. But
because when you stepped outside, it was like
Georgia in the summer.
Georgia in the end of June.
And I like Augusta. I've now been to Augusta a few times. No knocks against Augusta. It's Georgia in the summer. You got to know what to expect.
Right. It was we had it was frosty that first night, especially that preview night. It was busy, but to drag the old joke out, a titbit nipply in the old con room, and to where Jamie, our resident camera jockey and skinny guy, was forced to take to sweatshirts.
Yeah, I think you gotta think of the cosplayers. Okay, just think of the cosplayers, because some of them are wearing layers, and they need the extra they need the temperature down just so they don't pass out of heat stroke. So I know it may be uncomfortable for the rest of us, but won't someone please think of the cosplayers?
Hey, better a little cold than a little hot than too hot. So
I don't know, man. Sometimes.
No, trust me.
Sometimes.
Well, on that weekend you could have both.
But Marianne, it was nice to meet you too, ma'am. Good to finally put a voice and a personage to the legend.
Yeah, see, another person I can confirm exists. So like Napoleon Dynamite, I invited my girlfriend from Oklahoma. She was on a modeling shoot.
We got a hello from Yojo and from Alti66. I don't know who you guys are, but welcome to the program.
Yeah.
I'm reading live comments, so you guys, by all means, chat away.
Okay. We got Rob, we got to make TV while he's reading live comments.
I know.
Like, we can't have a lull. People will change the channel. They will touch that dial.
I know, and my brain has atrophied over the summer. So
or worse, they'll touch something else.
Yeah, they will touch that dial softly, sensually, and
please do not play your old Divinals records.
So, completely unrelated to anything. Whilst we were driving to Georgia, we had a playlist going in the vehicle, and we both like added songs to it. And I threw on some Spinal Tap songs. I put Big Bottom on there, which is funny, and like Marianne thought it was funny. It didn't occur to me that she hadn't seen the movie.
Oh wow!
So we fixed that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. It's there are a few sequences in the history of film as perfect as those guys being lost in the bowels of the stadium, and there's no reason to not see that anymore.
Yeah.
They
Rock and roll.
Hello, Cleveland.
No, we're not out there yet. Well, oh, damn it.
Oh God, that was anyway, yeah. So it's all right. I feel like we've done enough TV for Mike to catch up on.
Do you have any cool road stories from this run to Augusta?
Cool road stories from this run to Augusta. Let's see. We stopped in, where was it that we stopped? We didn't do it all in one day. We stopped in Tupelo.
All right.
Stopped in Tupelo. So I was only there briefly, but I feel like I now know everything about Tupelo.
There's only one thing to know about Tupelo.
Well, I'm an expert. You need
Elvis is from there. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And they like to advertise that. It's absolutely. But yeah, if you need any connections in Tupelo, I'm good in Tupelo.
Right. If I were Tupelo, Mississippi, I'd play that up too. I'd lead with that every time.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like as far as the travel, it was fairly uneventful. We got there safely, but like it was mostly for us about the show and about seeing everybody, and that's what we did. We saw everybody, and that was it was a great weekend. We really enjoyed it. Yes, thank you, Marianne. Tupelo. Nick Cave has a song about Tupelo. Doesn't Nick Cave have a song about Tupelo? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Marianne notes that they have 3 streetlights, and we know that is incorrect because that would make them 3-polo.
Yeah, that's the suburb. That's the suburb of Tupelo with the 3 traffic lights.
Tupelo, come for Elvis, stay for Tapworth. It tastes like dirty pennies.
Now people are going to be like, "Oh, you're making fun of Tupelo. Unsubscribe."
Right, that our strong Tupelo contingency is bailing out on us.
The Tupelo demographic
all of your Tupelo subscribers.
We've turned heel on Tupelo, Mississippi.
I'm sorry, Tupelo. I'm sorry. I don't mean it. It was a very pleasant time the whole time. It was fine. It's absolutely fine.
We stayed more on the beaten path. So I could get some Buc-ee's jerky.
Oh yes. Okay, you did get Yeah. We did go to Buc-ee's. I should note that we went to Buc-ee's. Of course we did. Both going out and coming back. So, that's just a given.
That's not as weird for you though, because you live in Buc-ee's country.
In the general area, Oklahoma is supposed to get one pretty soon. But we do still have to travel to get there.
Okay, because the closest one to us is in Kentucky. And I dragged Rob and Jamie to that one, being the closest one to our house at 400 some miles away, without thinking that there would be many, many more Buc-ee's stops between Kentucky and Augusta, Georgia. So... Yeah.
So Buc-ee's is great. Today I was stroking Marianne's beaver on her T-shirt that she got at Buc-ee's. So it's one of our favorite stops.
This is making me uncomfortable.
What?
Let's kick out to Mr. Sacco.
Meow. 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 Meow.
It's on It's on the T-shirt.
It figured it was an opportune time to go from stroking the beaver to kicking the pussy. But
good transition. I like that. Good segue.
Oh man, we're working blue tonight.
Yeah,
Matt
we're not.
says there were talks about opening a Buc-ee's here in Pittsburgh, but I'm not sure if that's actually happening or not. I think if the Buc-ee's people had their way, there would be some anywhere, everywhere. I know that there's going to be at least one closer to us than 4 hours away sometime soon.
I suppose like it's a bit of a tourist trap, and it's like. It's a big store where you buy stuff and they have a mascot, and it shouldn't be as endearing as it is, but I still love it, and I can't pass by one without stopping in. Their brisket barbecue sandwiches, the Kansas City barbecue ought to take some notes about Buc-ee's brisket barbecue sandwiches. Those things are something else.
I agree. I got one going down and coming back. I bought one for Mark, and he swore by it. Rob did not partake because Rob.
I got one coming back.
Okay, all right then. It was hard to deny the strange, positive Americana vibes that emanated from Buc-ee's. It was just, there was just something. I mean, it's terrible, right? It's packed.
It's a bit
running
kitschy,
around, screaming everywhere. That you got to be careful as to not get hit by traffic, but there is still just this uniquely wholesomeness to it that can't be denied.
Yeah. I mean, it's not highbrow. It's there are no Michelin stars or anything like that, but it has its charm.
Clearly, they haven't had the brisket if they're not handing out Michelin stars, but.
Or the candied almond, the candied pecans. Yeah,
they have some auto parts that may actually have some Michelins. So,
right, I would have tried that. I bought some candied pecans, but Jamie ate them all, so I didn't even get a chance to eat my own candied pecans. I've denied the experience. God knows I need more food. Anyways, what do you figure? It's we've blown about 20 minutes of these good.
Yeah.
Let's roll into community calendar. All right. I probably should have tried to play the one that has you in it, but I don't remember which one it is.
No, it's fine. I'm glad we're getting back on track. We were becoming what's on Bucky's mind, so let's.
Right, they're not paying for sponsorship. We got to get them on board if that's what they want us to be.
Those candy pecans were like pecan pie without the crust. Delicious.
Our real sponsors are going to be mad at us for talking too much about Buc-ee's, except that we know that they love Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
So, anyways, first up. We plugged these guys before, but they snuck up on me this time. Tampa Toy Con happening this weekend. That is the 13th and 14th this weekend at the Florida State Fairgrounds. That's where the Sarge is going to be. So if you missed Sarge at he's been busy on the old show trail this year. He's made a lot of appearances. So if you've missed him to this point, he's going to be in Florida. Just don't corner him because he'll fight his way out. You don't want that. They're there Saturday from 9 to 5, Sunday from 9 to 4. Be sure to check out their page on Facebook if you want more details. They do charge you to get in. They do charge for parking. But it is a pretty big show going on down there in Tampa this weekend.
Do meet Sergeant Slaughter if you have a chance. He's delightful. Get your Cobra Clutch challenge coin. That's really cool. He's an actual famous person, not like internet famous, but actually famous. But he's also a really nice guy. Marianne got her photo op and the COBRA clutch and everything, and it was fantastic. The biggest trip about Sergeant Slaughter for me is that last year Zazel got him to record an intro for COBRA Convergence, and that's still pretty mind-blowing. And like when I met him last year, he did the line. I like the line, like slaughterize it, which my Sergeant Slaughter puppet would always say. He did the slaughterize it line, which means he knows the slaughterize it line, which is trippy. It's insane. But
look, it's catchy.
Yeah. But
can't blame him for holding on to that one.
But do meet Sergeant Slaughter if you have a chance.
But Phil Donnelly has never been to a Buc-ee's.
Well, just make sure you bring your GPS. They're very large. You want to make sure you can make your way back out.
He's never coming on this show again.
They were going to put one on the 405, but it was jammed.
Yeah. You did hear that this is what's on Bucky's mind now, right? So now you got nothing to talk about on the show.
Andrew Galgan asks, now that makes me question, barring for monetary purposes, who would be the ultimate sponsor for What's on Joe Mind? I mean, Kokomo Toys is the ultimate sponsor for What's on Joe Mind. That's why we went out and got them. We don't need any more than Kokomo Toys. I think we owe them a bonus singing of the theme song. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys.
I can never remember the words.
It's all right. Hang in. We'll be nice to you this time. When we get it at the end of the show, right? When we get it at the end of the show, you don't have an excuse. But for that,
all right, I'll do my best. I'll write it down. Jake
Rose asks, "What are their prices on kids under 12?" I don't know. You'll have to confer with their Facebook page. Again, they will have all the details for you there. There also is a Tampa Toy Con, I believe, is their site, tampatoycon.com. So you can check it out there as well. Let's see. The Gunny, Dennis Fleming, listed off their entire vacation run. Joe Fest, Gettysburg, Syracuse Museum of Play, Corning Glass Museum, Saratoga Battlefield, Fort William Henry, Fort Ticonderoga, Arcadia National Park, Legoland, and home.
Is that all one trip?
Yeah, that was they made a go of it.
Ooh, yeah, they stretched into upstate New York, and
that is a go of it. Yeah,
home is where the hummingbird cake is.
We've been to Fort William Henry.
Yes. But Michael Gene Fleming notes it was a full 2 weeks. Extremely full 2 weeks.
I think it's fantastic. I love a road trip. Before we went to Georgia, we had just gotten back from Las Vegas, a road trip to Las Vegas and back. So hey, it sounds like a fantastic time to me.
They're not trying to sell you flights to Vegas that are cheaper than gas money.
I'm sure somebody is, but I love the desert. Like I don't want to fly over the desert. I want to see it. I want to see the the nature's majesty and shit like that. I'm sorry, I swore. Wait, can I do that? Okay. So I wanted to see nature's majesty and shit like that. And then we even went to a fucking meteor crater. Wait, can I say that?
Sure.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Where's the swear jar?
Yeah. So I don't want to fly over that. The journey is as important as the destination.
I would want to see all the Coyote Roadrunner stuff, frankly. I don't want to miss that.
Yeah. You want to see where they filmed the cartoons?
The Acme Company, is real big out there.
Wreckship 85 notes he used the one F-bomb for the show to keep it PG-13. You mean the one F-bomb to make it PG-13? That was the rule there. It's not only one keeps you from making it to an R. It's just you have to have one to not be just straight PG.
Right. I thought you guys were bleeping.
No,
Are you
I don't
not
think that's
bleeping?
right.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Bleeping is fucking funny, but
Yeah.
but unfortunately, I don't really have a way to do that well here on the live show.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'll clean it up. I'll clean it up.
Look,
cleaning it up.
again, Joe Colton used to be on here every week, and so 5 minutes of Joe Colton was somehow not enough to get us demonetized. So I
Yeah,
don't think you have the capacity to demonetize.
Okay. All right. I'm glad. I look. I don't want to come on here and then ruin the show. I'm sorry. I've already mentioned like beavers, and now I've said swear words, and like it's going downhill. Do you regret inviting me on yet?
No. But speaking of coming on and ruining the show,
Oh,
Hey,
I mean, what the fuck?
it's it's Mark Weber, and he's in a collared shirt.
Hey, you know,
the brutal chest cut at the con. I like that very much.
it's a one of one.
Yeah, it's
It
very
took a-
clever.
Took a lot of
dig it.
electrical tape.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll hang it on the wall next week, just for the few who haven't seen it.
It's it's smart. It's good. If you know what it is, then it's it's very
Not-
funny.
Same on CGC asked, so swearing goes by the Joe Colton scale. I think so. I think that's accurate. I think that works.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, she hasn't been on regularly in some time, but most of our fan base has been with us for a while. So let's not pretend that this isn't a clutch your pearls, cover your ears moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. In our long history, we've had Kevin Watts on the program at least 3 times.
Yeah.
So if that didn't get us some kind of sanctioning by the United Nations or some kind of similar body, then nothing will.
I
still
think we
feel-
would have to do the live stream on the famous 7-second delay.
I thought you were bleeping. I'm sorry. I'm still feel bad. I thought I would be bleeped.
We are not approved by the Comics Code Authority. So
That's all right. Nobody is anymore.
Scotty Z70 says that he's watching and hearing, and that makes sense. That all checks out. That's the 2 things that should be happening here.
I'm
So
so
good
sorry.
job.
I'm so sorry. But thank you for your efforts.
But welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hopefully, I'll bring a calming presence.
We need that. We need that.
And I apologize for being late, but an old buddy of mine is in town one night only. Hadn't seen him in live in several years, so we met up for dinner up at Patriot Place in the shadow of the Patriot Stadium. So
no poop, you say?
I knew that would get a thumbs up from HCC.
Yeah, but well, I'm gonna be there in a few months, as a matter of fact. So that's it's nice. It's nice to confirm that it's still there.
Yep.
Mark, you want to know what you missed?
Yes.
All right. We're 28 minutes in. This is our first thing on community calendar.
This is the first slide.
First slide.
Some right on time.
I'm dragging the
you're
show
fine.
down. I'm dragging the show down.
Look, we needed Brian and Marianne's Tales from the Road. So
That's fair.
whatever.
Look, hey man, we got honored guests. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah,
waiting for
Bucky's
people.
update.
I am waiting for people to comment on my brand new webcam, though, huh? Widescreen.
You are uniquely highly defined tonight, Mark.
Watch this.
Are you going full auto again?
Right? It's pretty solid.
I can't tell. You're in the small camera. I can't really tell.
You remember when high def first hit and all the broadcasters were terrified of it?
Right.
Because they knew it was going to make them look real. And HD Chris Berman was something I was not ready for. Like, ooh.
But what was refreshing about it was he didn't care.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
what was he going to do, right?
He was not cursed with self-awareness.
Right. We had no expectations on HD Chris Berman. We just weren't quite ready anyway.
I wish I would have been in the room when they told him he couldn't call the home run derby anymore. What are you talking about? People want to hear me go back for 2 hours.
It is amazing how much success people can achieve because of their lack of self-awareness. That's always been remarkable to me.
I think that's G.I. Joe YouTube in a nutshell, frankly.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Zach Quam asks, Honcho, what were you packing in that last Voliverse video?
If you have to ask, then you're not ready to know. That's what I got to say about that.
Ooh.
Love it.
Look at
Secret
Dustin
things.
Jeffrey lying in the chat, claiming that he can see my eyebrows.
No, you could just see the brow ridge, but you can't actually see hair there.
I do have the People's Ridge, but
Right.
yeah, there's no.
I can speak for being as close to Mark as sitting next to him in a car. You gotta work at that. You can't just see Mark's eyebrows without filters or squinting or there's a lot of work there.
By appointment only. If you're close enough to see my eyebrows, you are too close, my friend. Yeah.
It was uncomfortable.
I get that.
Figure Six Pack has the right idea, reminding everyone to hit the like button. That's really all we ask for at the end of the day is a bunch of clicks. So just go and click a lot of stuff.
Hit the like button so you can go full ass.
Click it twice. Go full ass.
Yeah.
Also this weekend on the 14th, that is Sunday.
Sunday.
Dan and Dan will be out at Sergeant Red's Toys and Collectibles in Utica, Michigan. They will be there from 12 to 3. You can get all of the details on the Sergeant Red's Facebook page. I know Pixel Dan's been pumping that up quite a bit on his various social media channels. I haven't been on a whole lot of social media to know if Dan Larson has been or not. I just know because we've had Dan on the show more often. So all the social media thinks that that's who I want to see first and foremost. Like I'm at the point now where Instagram is showing me Pixel Dan instead of my own family, which is,
I'll throw in another anecdote. I did not have a chance to meet Dan Larson at Joe Fest. Busy and didn't come around when he was available, but I did get to meet and talk to Pixel Dan. Delightful person. Wonderful person to talk to. That's the second time I've been able to meet him in person. Very nice guy.
Yeah. I've known Dan for several years now. He is every bit as just the genuine hyperactive guy that you see on screen is really him.
Yeah.
And we threatened him with cake.
That's true. And remember, it's not Utica without you.
Come for the
Marketing.
Yes. Come for the Dans. Stay
The more
for the
you know.
Hams.
Somebody in their town council just saw that and went, how come we didn't think of that? I'm going to blow up the next board meeting with my
The
creative.
Utica Chamber of Commerce is all over it right now.
Yep.
Right. Hey, look, Sergeant Red's got on that toy store show on Amazon this season, so they are all about it. They're on top of it, man.
Yep.
Utica Town Council's flying high. This is their whole re-election platform.
Pretty much.
We brought you not one, but two Dans.
The Lilith 1978 says, "Good morning, gentlemen." To which I say, okay, where you been?
Cryptic. Good morning.
Right?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Anyways.
Depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
What are
Morning
the countries
somewhere.
we're really big in overseas, Mike? Wasn't it Poland?
I'm sorry, what's that now?
What are the countries that we're really big in? Wasn't it Poland or something?
It was Poland for a little while. It was Switzerland for a little while.
Yeah.
That number 5 spot on our list tends to jump around.
I think it's morning in Vladivostok. So greetings, comrade.
Right. It's always U.S. is our number 1. Canada and the UK kind of trade off 2 and 3. Australia is always number 4. And then 5 is just all over. 5 is always a potpourri of various places. So I think the most recent time I checked, it was in fact Poland, but we'll see. I'll have to check it again.
Well, and Mystery Solved, as the Lilith reveals.
He's right there in number 4. He's in Australia.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday morning there.
And it's the future. So I mean, somebody could get us some winning lottery numbers, but chooses not to.
That's how Hulk Hogan wrestled 400 nights a year. It's weird how that works. Well, good day.
Greetings from the future.
Good day,
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
Dustin Jeffrey asks, you mean Canada has lifted the ban on What's on Joe Mind? We still list Joe Colton as a member of our staff, so they're not allowed to ban us. Andrew Gauguin asks, I'd like to hear the weekly which country loves What's on Joe Mind last week. That's not bad. If there's something there, I'll turn it into something. We'll check it out over the next couple of weeks and see if that's the case.
Maybe we open hour 2 with the national anthem of whatever country is number 5 on our list.
Who wants to keep track of when the hours end, though?
Right? Just say
hour 2 might start a third of the way into community calendar.
That's about. I was going to say the second hour starts halfway through community calendar.
Beta Ray Bob going 80s on us. We haven't really made it big until you make it big in Japan. I got you there, Beta Ray Bob.
Look, now it's a cat video. We're going to get so many hits.
Yeah, I know.
Alistair's with us.
This is now you're going viral. This is
wait, wrong button.
Oh, we just lost all the subscribers.
There he is.
There we go.
There he is. And he's already annoyed with me holding him like this.
Right.
Yeah, look, you can see the irritation in his face.
The void is not pleased.
Yeah. Now he's absolutely fine, of his own volition, walking past and blocking the camera. But God forbid I should actually pick him up or do anything.
That's right. You've taken the power away from him.
Is he legitimately Alistair Black?
He's never been given a last name, but we do have some names for him. Black is not one of them. But he's earned them. And I understand we've already had some swearing on the show, but let's off the air. We'll go through some of Alistair's some of the.
We'll generalize it with little foreign so and so.
Yeah, when
Mark Brian is not the wrestling fan that most of the rest of us on the program are.
We'll get him there.
He's not gonna catch Alistair Black necessarily.
No.
What we need to get him.
You go Black.
Now we're talking.
Kitties.
Oh yeah,
with a black cat in the turret is what we need to get him.
I can paint that as long as I don't have to do the eyes.
Right?
Someone's got to do the eyes.
His eyes are shut.
We got a Sharpie. We can do that one now.
I can do that with a Sharpie, but not without getting part of the turret black as well.
Firefly says, I finally made it. Not even the hurricanes and an internet outage can keep me from this week's What's on Joe Mind. Good.
That is commitment.
Excellent.
That's a lot of commitment. Misplaced, but it's charming. It's nice.
It is. And good that you're safe. We appreciate you and everybody else who's joining us as a means to divert themselves from life happening.
Yes. Where were we?
No, it's dead air.
Right.
Oh,
I lost my button.
Slide 3.
Yeah.
Slide 3.
And
also
we're back
up on Sunday. Toy
Hello.
in St. Louis. They're there from 9 to 2 out on the west side by the airport in the big 2-story machinist hall. $5 gets you in the door. $15 gets you in for early bird at 8 o'clock. Parking is free and plentiful. If you can't find it at Toyman, you weren't looking very hard.
That's right.
Find and hug Dave Draper. You get that 0% discount on your admission. And you'll have a story for the ages. And as Surveillance Port notes, that's where big kids go to play. He's a chunky boy. He'll fit right in. But again, if Toyman, you're going to find something. If you go back and you collect anything from the tin trains of the 20s on forward to stuff that's modern and on the shelf right now, You'll find it at Toyman. They have it all there. It is a part garage sale, part toy sale, part museum at Toyman Show. If you're anywhere close to St. Louis, can't recommend it enough.
Go find yourself a Sears Bazooka Cobra Trooper. He's in there somewhere.
He's again, if you can't find it, you didn't try.
That's it.
Jeff Butler says maybe the cat is Alistair Gillis. I don't know.
Who said Aleister Crowley? Oh yeah, Philip. Yes, my oldest daughter. We got the cat from my oldest daughter, and yes, she did name him after Aleister Crowley. So good. That's you get the no prize.
Right.
I would lie about that and just say he's named after Alistair Cookie.
That's hey, yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Host of Monster Piece Theater on Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And my avatar on Facebook.
Oh yeah,
It's
Bart
Monster
got
smoking
yes.
jacket. It's fantastic.
Absorb Vids is in the house. Evening, everybody.
Yeah, I got. I got the hug Bart. See, this is why you got to go and see the people in person, because you get the hugs, you get the the exchange of bodily fluids or whatever, which you can't get over the internet. Oh, you can exchange all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's maybe more than I bargained for.
Well,
Bailey Bob asked, does Toyman have Slaughter's Marauders barbecue? That's iffy because Mark has them all.
Yeah.
Right, baby.
That's iffy.
This can be yours. I think I sold the last one too low, so I'm driving a harder bargain on this one. Plus, this was a gift, right? Like, come on.
Right. Straight from Target to you.
That's right. I got that from a real soldier. Mm-hmm. I got that from
The funny thing is,
I did there. Second time
the
I've
funny
done
thing
that.
is, if Coco O'Toy still had one around Christmas time, that's what you were getting. But
Right. I didn't get it from a soldier. I got it from a Marine, and there's a difference.
Right. Because he'll find you at the next show and shoot you up with his Nerf guns.
He's got. I mean, it's right there on the center, right? Doesn't traverse though, so I would have to try to get around him.
Michael Kleppinger knows a guy that can make Chunky Tank Alistair happen. Well, that's all I'm saying.
Look, you already corrected me almost before I corrected me.
Oh,
I can't.
anyways, moving forward.
I can't tell if he's angry about that or not.
Too quick. We jumped. All right. Everything shut down for a second there. That was weird. Okay, we're back.
might be the weather.
Happening Sunday virtually is the Let's Do This for Aaron live benefit auction. That is happening on Facebook on the Route 68 Toy Mall Facebook page. Auction is going to be by Ken Luddington of KL Auctions. That is starting at 3 p.m. If you check this out on their Facebook page, on their event page, you can see all the cool stuff that is being lined up for this auction. Again, all proceeds go to our good friend Aaron Dietrich for his ongoing expenses on his cancer fight. So bring your cash. This is all going for a good cause.
Absolutely.
I think if you're it was Steel Brigade E was what they were showing off today.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the neon green and blue gold head Steel Brigade guy. So if you're missing one of them, hey, well, I know where you can get one.
Mm-hmm.
This auction right here happening on Sunday.
Although I'm not an active collector, this is a good opportunity to pick up something anyway. This is actually a very good cause, and so I probably will.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Gauntlet thrown.
Yeah.
While you're at it, what Roma Collectibles does want you to know that they are the sponsors of Community Calendar. You can see them right there. Same, one and the same. That's the guy right there. The bald, non-threatening one.
It's a little bit threatening. Just saying.
I mean, a little. But you can go visit them anytime, Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 7, Sunday, 12 to 5, at Roma Collectibles, the toy store at 1030 Upper Valley Pike, Springfield, Ohio. Lots of great stuff in the store, packed. Not an inch without a cool vintage toy for you and yours to hand off to your loved ones to give as perhaps terrible Father's Day gifts, perhaps great Father's Day gifts. Who knows? But they're there for you. And again, remember, try to avoid eye contact because they will attack.
Mhm. I like that Cheapest Big Spender thinks I'm dressing up because I have a collar on my shirt and buttons.
Right.
So it tells me how low I've actually set that bar.
I mean, Cheapest Big Spender, if you're watching the live chat, he thinks that we're just Brian's sidekicks anyway.
Yeah.
So,
In Oklahoma, you're dressed for your own wedding. This is
Right?
like that's formal.
Or funeral.
so that he
Finally, a garment fine enough to be buried in.
Right?
I mean, all your actions are somehow related to Hooded Cobra Commander 788.
That's fair. Yeah,
That's a terrible idea.
Look, I don't mind getting a seat on the gravy train as long as it's a good seat.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not even all of my actions are related to Hooded Cobra Commander 788. That's a terrible idea.
No,
Look here, I spent 10 years dragging down the algorithm for my show. So it's my pleasure to come on and drag down the algorithm for your show now.
Beta Ray Bob says, not true. I made eye contact with them at the Roma booth at Joe Fest and survived. Look, I'm just going to say you're the lucky one.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not the exception to the rule, or rather it is the exception to the rule, not the exception that disproves the rule.
He picked the spot well because it's harder for her to bite with her Outback beard on.
Right.
Man.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mark, when you had the beard on, she took a chunk out of your arm.
Pretty much, right?
Right.
Look, man, you don't want to upstage a cosplayer, right? Especially one who knows what she's doing. But I gotta say, I rock that beard, baby.
Right.
Come on, man.
It was good. It was good. I was there. I saw it.
It's a little
Right.
sweaty. It's a little sweaty.
We-
That's all right.
Brian, I noticed that you also have your Roma cup going.
Oh,
tonight.
yes.
I don't know if Rob or Mark got one because
I
they
did
said
not.
I didn't either.
because they're terrible.
I was holding down the booth. Actually, the Roma booth was on the opposite side of the comic book epicenter. So I don't know if Rob made it to that side of the floor.
Yeah, a little inside baseball here for all of you Joe Fest noobs, but in the hotel, second floor lobby, that's where that's where you can get lovely things like this, and that's where all the cool kids hang out. So that's just for future reference for those of you who are going to show up now. I know I got so much experience, and I know that some of you guys don't know where it's at, but I'm just telling you, cool kids, hotel, second floor lobby, pretty much all night. So there you go.
In '84, he got a cut from Roma.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's
Those-
sort of their
those
sort of
bite
their
marks.
rep.
Them bite marks are for real.
Mm-hmm.
Hans Chow is in the building, trying to make Trinidad
Hey!
country number 5,
Yep.
splintering the door, leaving carnage in his wake.
It was
He
good
is-
to see you, Hans.
He is the Trinidad, right? Yeah. Market it.
The Trinidaddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna make you call me Trinidaddy. Hello.
So that's Sunday, July 14, beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Again, pause it if you have to. Get that Facebook page down. That's the Route 68 Toy Mall Facebook page. All happening right there. Live auction. Go and spend your hard-earned money because it's all going to a great, great cause.
And log in early because Route 68 is gonna be jammed.
It's only 2 lanes out in that part of Ohio.
Right?
See, Bart's
It'll
got
look
his
like-
roll.
It's going to look like the 405.
It's also jammed.
Oh, come on, buttons. Let's stop.
Whoa.
There we go. Oh,
I don't know, Beavis.
mm.
That was pretty cool.
What? Just I wasn't even clicking on it anymore. It was just jumping around. Anyways, next up. Hey, and after that, on July 20th, slide on down to Kentuckiana, and for their G.I. Joe Toy Expo. Twice a year. They got that one in January and then this one here in July. That is happening in Shepherdsville, Kentucky at the Paraquet Springs Conference Center. Brian, give us a quick review of the Country Inn and Suites in Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
It was very country inny and sweetsy. I have the most country inny and sweetsy place that I've ever been to. So I will say that it was conveniently located. The rooms were clean and tidy. And stuff. You put me on a spot.
What's important is we put you on the spot and we left you on the spot.
Yeah, that's okay. I would have come up with something. If you just leave me there, I'll come up with something. You may not like what I come up with, but I'll.
Are you sure it was the Country Inn and Suites and not the Quality Inn and Suites?
It was, in fact, the Country Inn and Suites in Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
Quality Inn and Suites is a shithole. So
one of our road stories, one of our road stories from Joe Fest is I drove us to the Country Inn and Suites when in fact I had made our reservation at the Quality Inn and Suites on the other side of the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I had this grand plan. I pulled up. I said, Jamie and Rob, it's like, okay, you guys grab one of those luggage carts, unload everything while I get us checked in, and then I'll throw the keys at you, and then I'll go get Mark from the airport.
Woohoo.
And so I go to the front desk, and I talk to the guy at the front desk. Those two are like professionals getting all the stuff on the luggage cart. And so we right as the guy tells me it's at the other, just again, it was just the hotel next door. But I just turn to them and say, great fire drill, guys. Now let's do it for real. That didn't go over well.
That's a much more interesting story than I had. It's like,
and to be fair to the Quality Inn and Suites, it was a nice room.
Yep.
The Lilith 78's question: with these Joe shows in America, by curiosity, do these shows have a lot of Real American Hero stuff, or is it more 12-inch original G.I. Joe stuff? Just wondering. Kentuckiana has a very strong 12-inch 60s and 70s Joe presence. That's the collecting focus of the guys who run it, but they've been doing this show for 10, 12 years now. But it's still, when Brian and I were at their winter show back in January, they had everything. If you're 60s and 70s Joe, if you're Real American Hero era, if you wanted the modern era 4-inch, if you wanted classified, it was all there. If you wanted Sigma 6, there was even some luck for you. So if Super Joe, you were right out.
Mm-hmm.
You get out.
And Spy Troops.
To be fair, that's disintegrated to dust anyway.
Right. Super Joe would have pointed at you and then watched his hand crumble away. So to answer your question, Lilith 78, yes.
And remember, you can't spell ancient without Kentuckiana. Do the math. Yeah, yep, he's right. I know I'm right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I know there are a lot of 12-inch collectors out there, and they are getting a little long in the tooth. I wouldn't call them ancient.
No,
not yet. They're getting there, though.
No, I mean, if you actually do the word thing.
Yeah. I know. Well, I got your code. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah, right.
And if this is gonna be the show, where 12 inches is the norm, it's good that it's the KY show.
Yeah,
it helps it all slide right in that hotel.
I often run into Ace Allgood at these shows that when they're primarily like 12-inch or have a lot of 12-inch, and every time I run into him, I do my one Ace Allgood joke. I say, "Hey, you're Ace. You're the 12-inch guy. I thought you would be shorter." That's all. But he laughs at it, so that's all that matters.
Is he courtesy laughing like I did?
Possibly.
All right.
Possibly. But it's one of those things. I'm gonna keep saying it until it's funny. As long as I keep saying it, then people will laugh because they'll laughing at me for still trying that joke.
Give it the old Family Guy treatment, is what you're saying?
That's it.
We're not there yet, but it'll get there.
Jeff Butler says he met Ace Allgood at the DFW Joe show. He's fantastic. Had a great time chatting with him. I mean, we had Ace on this show not too long ago, so you should know he's fantastic anyway. Jeff Butler, unless you didn't watch that one.
Yeah, say you didn't watch one without saying you didn't watch one.
Right?
He's not doing that.
Banned!
He met him at the DFW show.
Banned! He's gone. That's how I roll.
Anyways, Kentuckiana's happening on July 20th from 10 to 4. $8 gets you in. $15 gets you in for early bird at 9 o'clock. There is a $30 Friday night Colonel's preview ticket for $30. That gets you in 5 to 8 p.m. Friday night, plus early bird admission on Saturday.
But you must wear your white suit and your bolo tie if you are going to the Colonel preview, sir.
Kids 12 and under are free. So is parking. You can't beat that. Great little show.
You will get free parking because of the Colonel.
Toy Reclaimer asked, still doing community calendar? Look, man, you saw how much news there was this week. We got to fill with something.
I'm dragging the show down. I am dragging the show down. We could get through this a lot faster if I would stop interrupting with some dumb anecdote or something.
Hey, man, it's 100 floors of terror. They ain't all going to be winners.
Wreckship 85 says that that Kentucky accent is almost as good as his Jamaican accent.
How dare you, sir?
I don't know what you're talking about because Mark doesn't have a Jamaican accent. He has a Bend, Oregon accent.
Yeah, man.
That is a completely distinct and separate thing.
Yeah, I'll be telling you. Come on down to the Bend, Oregon, man, where everything gonna be iron, man. Heavy.
I don't feel as bad anymore.
No.
Good thing I arrived.
And then, of course, moving forward, I went and did another thing. Got to speak to our good friends James Gavsey and Ray Stakanis. I did another episode of the Who Would Win podcast to judge the epic fight between Goliath from Gargoyles and The Witcher. Be sure to listen wherever you get your podcasts to hear me stammer on about two characters I know very little about. One from a video game and television show to which I have had no exposure, and the other one from a cartoon that aired 30 plus years ago. So good times to be had.
I never watched 1 minute of Gargoyles. Was it any good?
It was. It actually was. That wasn't so much the problem. It just was that was like college time for me, so I tended to have class in the afternoon. But it was a decent show. It wasn't the show's fault. My lasting memory of Gargoyles is my roommate Brent collected the Gargoyles toys, and at the time I was buying the toys from the Spider-Man cartoon, the Spider-Man animated series. And one night I set all of my Spider-Man up to go and demolish his Gargoyles. So he came into this elaborate battle scene where Spider-Man is stabbing gargoyles with pens and things like that. And he just left it alone. He thought it was awesome.
Did he immediately go, wait a minute, you can't have more than one Spider-Man in a place?
I think he was just too impressed by the scene of graphic violence that was playing out on his dresser. And I think just the logic just left him.
Well, that's fair.
Because it was really just the Spider-Man. I didn't use any of the villains. I had 9 or 10 of the Spider-Men, like anti-vampire Spider-Man and bullshit like that.
Okay.
Those were the only ones that made the scene, and they were out there punching gargoyles and tearing their wings off and throwing them in the trash can and things like that. It was good times.
So the gargoyles, the bit was they turned to stone at night?
They turned to stone in the daytime.
Oh, in the daytime, but at night they could part.
Right. They came to life. That was their curse. Yes.
Okay, got it. That's not bad. That's not a bad.
Oh, no, it was a pretty good show. Nothing against the show. I didn't see it. I never came back for it. At some point I'll probably catch it. But again, if you enjoyed the first one, which is still out there as well, I did a 2 this season on who would win. The first one was Captain Marvel versus Wonder Woman. And this one is Goliath versus The Witcher. Be sure to check them out wherever you get your podcasts. It's a tidy listen. It's less than an hour. Far less time than you hear me blather on what's on Joe Mind.
Shorter than community calendar.
Right. We just passed the 1 hour mark. So it's less time than we've spent on this show to this point.
Our pal Rexship 85 missed the sarcasm in my voice.
Right.
Because,
he's not wrong, though. You can have as many spider people as you want.
I can't wait for the next one. Can you imagine how many? Probably 300 in that next one. we walked out of a different movie, and the Spider-Verse Part 1 or whatever, the last one that came out, poster was up, and I made a beeline for it and put up my finger and started counting, and my daughter went, "Stop, Dad!"
Your daughter is right, Mark.
Hey, it was really popular. It was really popular. So were leg warmers at one point. Just say it.
Your daughter's correct, Mark.
It was I know I'm in the minority. Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
It does this time, though.
It could.
It does. It does.
Doesn't.
It does.
Seriously though, if they doubled the amount of Spider-Man in the next one, it would be twice as good, right?
By the math, yes.
Oh, so good. Can't wait.
The transitive property of spider people applies.
If you didn't enjoy the Spider-Verse movies, Mark, I don't know what to tell you, man.
No. They were, I mean, visually, they were absolutely incredible. And, I'm not bagging on the story either. I'm just saying, if you don't think it literally waters down the hero to have 8 billion versions of him, I don't know what to tell you.
Look, they don't drag them all out every month, Mark.
Isn't there a scene in that movie literally where like 400 Spider-Men are chasing the main offshoot of the real Spider-Man that we're supposed to be cheering for?
Right. But what I'm saying, Mark, is that they really just exist for the purposes of that movie. There's no samurai Spider-Man comic book happening off in the future. They pretty well just exist for the purposes of the movie.
Pretty sure I saw them on shelves. Just saying.
Toys related to the movie. Anyways,
so I'm not going to
300.
see some dumb Spider-Gwen comic, is what you're telling me?
Well, you know what? I can't defend Spider.
I'm not going to see some dumb Ghost Spider comic. That's what you're telling me?
I can't defend Spider-Gwen. I can't do that.
Welcome home.
Anyways, we stepped all over Jeff Butler's joke, and I've lost it. So
where'd it go?
As long as there's not more than one gung ho, then that's all I care about.
Well, I got some bad news for you.
Isn't there an Army gung ho and a Marine gung ho?
I don't know. You're the ho expert.
Oh, I'll take that.
All right.
Pimpin' ain't easy.
He's owning it. So again, Who Would Win podcast. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts. More bonus Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Can you beat that? No, you can't.
Same low charge.
Right?
I forgot about Gaucho.
And then finally, we've got our pressing business. We've got our Joe Fest leftovers. Look at that. Look at that adorable little bastard in there. Look at that. Look at that guy. Don't you want one of him for your very own? Of course you do.
Are those arms or nipples? You decide.
Those, well, they're
Depends
facing
on how
towards
cold
one
it is.
another, so they're his little hands.
They're nubs.
They're nubs.
Nubbins.
Anyways, we've got some leftovers. We got stuff that people did not buy at Joe Fest for one reason or another. We did sell a good number of the in-action figures. The patches were a few of them moved, but we've got a good number of those left as well.
I got mine.
Good. I mean, again, good. You're not one of the heathens that refused. But the patch czar, Staff Sergeant Senug's flag patch is still available. There are 16 of them left to go. They are $15 each plus shipping. All the proceeds on these go to benefit Canines for Warriors. I'll got one right here. Here it's there's the patch. You can see them right in there. They are each individually numbered. Again, limited edition of 25. You got on the back, we got some business stuff from Patch Czar, who's the gentleman genius who designed and produced these patches. And again, no money of this is coming for us. No money on this is going to him. It is all going to Canines for Warriors if you're in on the Staff Sergeant Senug's patch. Come on. There we are. There we are. Back in there.
They're great patches. I'm going to put one on my jacket. I won't be able to wear it for a few months because it's 800 degrees out right now, but
Right.
it's going to look great when I can wear it.
Oklahoma is not big on jacket weather this time.
Yeah, that's it. We get there's a short period there toward the winter months where we can, if you got a cool jacket, you can bring it out, but that won't be for a while. But when I can wear it, it's going to look great.
Phil Donnelly says, "Please don't tell me you still have leftover cake." No, we were out of cake as of Saturday. Thanks for watching the show. Surveillance Port asks, "Where can we buy this fine swag?" That's the question. Hold on, just 1 second. We're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have the patch from Patch Czar, $15 a piece. And then we've got the in-action figure from Michael Kleppinger, known as Techno Viper 3D on Instagram. All proceeds on this one go to charity as well. For $10 a piece, we've got the 3 different containers. The figures inside these are all the same. But here we've got Blazing Beach Party and his little dipping cup of sauce there, and then we got Mad Marauder Barbecue again in his little sauce cup.
Ooh,
and then
my
we've got
favorite.
the most popular of the 3 at Joe Fest was Mango Habanero, and so Brian has his up. You're playing with Gung Ho.
Yeah, I'm playing with my gung ho. But I'm gonna keep mine mint in sauce cup. I feel they will retain their value more.
Did we have a mint jelly sauce cup?
There you go.
There we go.
Lamb
He's
nuggets.
back. And then of course we also have a variant edition, and that is $20 a piece. These are extremely short of Honey Mustard Force.
You're holding up Mango Habanero.
Wrong one. That's a Honey Mustard Force right there in the brown cup. Do I have that handy anywhere? No, I don't have it handy. So, and that one looks a little bit different. He's got tiger stripes painted on him. But again, there's only 3 of those. So again, first come, first serve on all these. We've got plenty of Blazing Beach Party, plenty of Mad Marauder Barbecue, not quite plenty on Mango Habanero. So what we're going to do, since we are not really set up as a store, the insults are coming fast on this one. Surveillance Court calling me a repacker. Man. Send your order to us at whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. Act fast. First received are first served or first fulfilled. Do not send money to us until your order is confirmed. Because again, we're dealing with something that's very limited. I don't know what the response on this is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to have 10 people wanting to buy things or if I'm going to have 50 people wanting to buy things. Emails only. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter messages. Those requests will not be honored. We are doing this exclusively through email so that I have a timestamp on them and can do first come, first served. It's going to be items plus shipping. And that way we'll confirm the order with you first. I'll get a shipping quote to you. And then you'll send us money through the means that we established there. But just, again, get your orders in. And we'll get this taken care of. We don't care about international shipping. Wherever you are in the world, if you want these and we can mail it to you, we'll send it. You're kind of on your own. You're responsible for it. But this is not a U.S. only deal. So Surveillance Port, his order is in, and he wants to know why he hasn't received tracking info yet. And anyways, Josiah Alcorn says that he's turning his 3 sea nugs into Mardi Gras necklace for next year.
Ooh.
That makes sense. Michael Kleppinger says that sauce, special attack unit commando enclosure. That's the sauce bin. That's outstanding.
Is that like the future fortress that doesn't quite assemble?
Just lays next to each other.
Right, it's right there. Just that's sauce. It's the special attack unit commando enclosure. Good God. Right, that's Michael. You brilliant man. I'm in. It's hard to beat that. And again, Michael did all the work on these. And then gave them to us and said, here, do what you want with the money. And I said, well, we happen to know a place that could use some money. So we will, every single penny is going to go towards that or your shipping. So don't worry about us getting rich on Staff Sergeant CNUG in action figures. It's not going to happen. Especially since there's only like 30 of them. So that would make it really difficult to unless we suddenly go back to like the 1880s and $1 buys a house or something.
We're going to buy Louisiana. It's going to be great.
But that is that. I will get this information out again after we're done here tonight. But again, emails only. So that the email address we use for everything, whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. Be sure to put something in the subject line, CNUG order, something that says to me, hey, I want to buy your stuff. Please make it easy on me. Again, we're not a shop. We're not set up to be a shop.
No.
I'm not paying eBay fees.
No.
We're trying to do something good for charities here. Canines for Warriors and for the Dietrichs on their expenses. So, Rec Ship 80. It's still cool that Michael gave me the Night Force Staff Sergeant CNUG at Joe Fest. What a cool Night Force Staff Sergeant CNUG is something to see. So we should all look up Rec Ship 85 on Instagram and check that out. Because I know he posted a picture there. Phil Donnelly, What's on Joe Mind has wares if you have coin. And again, while supplies last. So if what you want is not available, I will do my best to try and get you substitutes. But if they're gone, they're gone. I make no promises. Just get your order in as quickly as possible, and we will move forward from there. Thank you. And that's it. That's community calendar at long last. My God, what an odyssey.
Well, that was something.
Right.
It's time for the news. First news item.
Do.
Donk. Yeah, it's about the only real news item of the week. But it's a pretty big one. Paramount has been purchased by Skydance Media, which is one of their production houses / co-producers for not just the G.I. Joe movies, but Transformers, Top Gun, most of their other franchise type pictures. Real quick, I'll jump over to the article on deadline.com. David Ellison's Skydance Media announced Sunday night that it and its backers will invest $8 billion in a takeover of Paramount Global, capping a 7th-month quest. The company had received approval earlier Sunday from a special committee of Paramount's board of directors. The full board then okayed the plan for a 2-step transaction. First, the acquisition of National Amusements Incorporated, the entity run by Shari Redstone, that had controlled almost 80% of Paramount voting shares. That transaction will be followed by a full merger. David Ellison will be chairman and CEO, and former NBC Universal chief Jeff Shell will lead the company as president. So there you go. The deal is expected to close in the first half of 2025, the company said. It will put gold-plated media assets, including CBS, Nickelodeon, and Paramount Pictures, in new hands for the first time since the 1980s. So, Mark Weber,
Yeah.
your thought?
Well, maybe the G.I. Joe and Transformers movies will stop sucking. That'd be nice. But it is same people, right? So,
More or less.
Okay. I mean, it's big news, but does it change anything? I guess doesn't feel like it, but who knows? We'll see.
Right. It's one of those where the potential is there for this to be extremely big news, but in terms of what it means to us, it's probably not going to be that much.
It's not going to make that Snake Eyes movie any better.
Brian, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did the Snake Eyes movie suck?
It was. Wait, hold on. Is a high number sucking more, or
Yes.
is it a higher number?
Yes.
Better.
No,
Okay.
Higher number is the amount of hurt that it caused you.
Okay. All right. Blah, blah, blah. And, you're probably expecting a higher number, but I'm going to say a 7. Okay. It was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. I've said my piece about it, but please understand that I'm a bit of a bad movie aficionado, and as far as suckage goes, that's not like that doesn't even register on the Richter scale. So in my universe, you have to be like much worse. I mean, spectacularly incompetent at every level of filmmaking in order to be like a 10 on that scale. But Snake Eyes being a 7 is much higher than it should be. I mean, it's not a birdemic. It's not a room, right? It's not the room. It's not up there. It's not up there. Those movies were more entertaining if I have to say it. All right. Yeah, it was an experience. I was really like begging for it to I didn't so much care that whether it's like the Snake Eyes I wanted it to be. I just wanted it to be good and to have people talking about it and talking about how cool it is and like have something G.I. Joe related in, pop culture again. And if you can't do that with the ninja in all black, then I can't help you. I can't help you. If you can't make the ninja who wears all black and does the swords and the karate chops, if you can't make that guy cool, I mean, then we truly are lost as a nation. The terrorists have already won.
Racktime Rob, your thoughts?
Will this drive up the price of Paramount Plus?
Let's hope not. but Paramount Plus
Probably
is
Yes, it
Paramount
will.
Plus is already on the chopping block, so
Yes, it will.
it's I mean, I'm gonna have to sign up for Netflix before the end of the year so I can keep watching WWE Raw. So
Mhm.
Paramount Plus is probably the one that I'm gonna let go at this point.
Paramount delayed that third Joe movie like 9 times before ending up greenlighting that Snake Eyes script.
Now, aren't you kind of glad in a sense, Mark? Because I know that delaying that movie is the big domino that ended your tenure as the head of the G.I. Joe brand. But
Yep.
aren't you at least a little glad looking back that you didn't have to be at Hasbro to weather that storm?
I suppose it's possible. Like when I joined the Joe brand, the idea was that the third movie would be a continuation of the saga or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
from Rise of Cobra and Retaliation. So I don't know. There was enough in that. I mean, it had problems, but there was enough in that script that I thought it had promise. Of course, there are a couple of different scripts, and I didn't see all of them. But I don't know. It just the Snake Eyes movie, what they eventually settled on is just maddening to me because, and I think HCC hits it pretty well. It's easy to go, oh, that movie sucked. It was 100% bad. And to do that completely obliterates the concept that they nailed Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow was fantastic.
Yes.
And Baroness and Scarlet weren't bad. They didn't have huge roles, but they weren't bad.
Akiko lived.
And Akiko lived is the biggest shocker in movie history. So people are like, Vader's Luke's father. Whoa, that's a medium hit. But Akiko surviving that movie, holy smokes. Or an hour, whatever, 100 minutes of swordplay with not one drop of blood. These ninjas are good. So
that's just how good they are.
That they could get the main character so wrong, just thematically, right? The initial argument before we saw the movie was about his heritage, basically, because it wasn't who they expected cast as the character. But the problem, that wasn't the problem. If it even was a problem, the problem was they got the character completely wrong.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you nail Storm Shadow and completely whiff on Snake Eyes in the same film. That's hard to do.
I mean, that's the thing about Snake Eyes is a lot of times I think the presentation to people who aren't fans is that Duke is the clean-cut All-American guy at the front of the team, but in reality, that's Snake Eyes, right? The heart of gold, the can do no wrong, the always morally justified guy that follows his heart above everything else, and is very rarely, if ever, wrong. That's Snake Eyes. Like, it doesn't matter what you put on top of that. You're going to get it right if that's at the core of Snake Eyes. And wow, they just didn't do that at all. Just
when I was trying to explain him as part of the brand to people who didn't know the brand or didn't know it well, Snake Eyes was the moral center of the whole team. And if you understand, you need to understand that to then build off it. Because the man in black who doesn't talk, who's a ninja / commando, there's all sorts of reasons to like Snake Eyes. But the best one is that he's the beating heart of the hero team.
Right.
So don't get that wrong. Please don't get that wrong.
But Storm Shadow, like that almost describes Storm Shadow in that movie more than Snake Eyes. Like I know that they would want they're not going to want to do like a Storm Shadow movie focused on Storm Shadow. They're going to want to do Snake Eyes, but you wouldn't have had to change much to reshift that and make it Storm Shadow's story to have something more compelling. Great actor. That's my favorite live action Storm Shadow, and I liked the Storm Shadow in the other two movies. But that was still my favorite portrayal of Storm Shadow in live action.
I mean, you could legitimately say, you might have to argue here or there, but he's probably the best represented G.I. Joe character in any
film,
live action film, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a stretch.
Yeah, that's not at all.
Mm.
Anyway, that's
Anna
why it
Davis,
doesn't-
she's late. She had a long day. She's asking if we can start over.
She was stuck on the 405.
Right. Yeah, I mean it
we can't start over. I did a whole lot of swearing, and if I do that again, they're definitely getting demonetized.
It resets the counter to 0.
look, there's something that has to happen when someone has to start over. Got out of the way.
There we go.
Anyways, next news item. Hey, popping up on Big Bad Toy Store this week. If you have not ordered The Art of G.I. Joe, if you do not have a copy of this wonderful book to both build strength by deadlifting and enjoy the wonderful pictures within, by our good friend Carson Metaxas of 3D Joe's, it's there for you on Big Bad Toy Store. And it is, I don't know if you guys can see down in the corner there. It's available for $4 flat rate shipping. Somebody's taking a bath on that one.
Try to get anything that weighs 20 pounds shipped to you for $4.
Right. The you know what's great about it is that anymore weight factors very little into the U.S. Postal Service. It's just the size of the box. If the box can physically fit in the truck, that's what determines the cost of it. So I guess the book isn't that big, but good God, your mailman's going to hate you.
Mm-hmm.
$4 for this monstrosity, but it is a wonderful monstrosity. And if you have not purchased it, I know that $159.99 price tag seems a little steep. It's a bargain at twice the price. Truly an amazing book and a labor of love. And very few G.I. Joe books are at this level. So if you haven't, start scraping your pennies together. Maybe this is what you do for yourself at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But absolutely worth the purchase. No question.
The quality on that book is like so high, like it's almost like you can't believe that they could actually make it. It really is impressive. If you've had a chance to see it in person, you know what I'm talking about. But obviously it's large. It's a big book, but it's like filled with some of the most gorgeous artwork that has been meticulously restored and information, which is my thing. I'm thrilled that the project went well. It's nice to see even more happening for Carson. Carson is a great guy. So anytime I see Carson having success, it's like seeing the good guys win. It's nice to see the good guys win every once in a while.
Hans Chow is excited because now he can finally get The Art of G.I. Joe out in Trinidad because Big Bad Toy Store ships to Trinidad. If that's not enough of an advertisement, I don't know what is. Surveillance Port notes that he rents the box that it came in out as a 1-bedroom efficiency in New York.
That's true.
And that book is it's no joke. It's no joke.
The
Firefly's got the right idea. Mm-hmm. Funds are still tight after Joe Fest. I'm going to ask for this. There you go. Plan ahead. That's your spot right there. That's your in.
Call your shot.
The surprise twist at the ending on the last page, that's when you find out that this is part 1.
I thought that was where Grover said that he's the monster at the end of the book.
Yeah. Well, watch for part 2 next summer.
Omnibus hardcover, part 1.
Yeah. Into the omnibus verse.
I just got to do a block.
Ooh, look at that. Oh, is Rob still here?
Rob is still here.
Okay. I don't know how to do
I got
that.
to block somebody that wasn't Rob.
I don't know how to do that. You have to show me. I know how to ban Rob and somebody.
Right.
I don't know how to ban just the offending person.
Right. So again, check that out at Big Bad Toy Store. Just $159.99 and a meager $4 in shipping because someone at Big Bad Toy Store has lost their minds.
And Jake Rose, let us know how that turns out. You saucy son of a... Anyway.
It's fitting on a night that we're talking about nuggets.
Whenever I get something like that posted on a Facebook page, I'm always torn between deleting it or just responding to it in all caps going, seems legit. We know ladies love cool web, so...
Next news item.
Jake Rose.
Hey, while we're talking about books, Total Toy Books, our friends Patty Lennon and Brian Hickey, their Battle Action Force early bird bundle deal is still going on. It will not be going for more than a couple more weeks, but that pre-order is up. That funny little dollar symbol there is a euro sign. So for 147.98 euro, you can get all 3 volumes of the Battle Action Force series. That's reprints of the entire Battle Action Force run. This price is it's basically getting a third. You're buying 2 and getting the 3rd book for free. So huge saving on this one. Take advantage of this one while you can. 150 euro. It turns out to be about $160. So think of this. It's the same purchase as you're making with Carson's book on the other side. So yeah, good times on this one. You get to see a whole other bent of G.I. Joe style stories. Battle Action Force was, for the folks who like the gritty, realistic type of G.I. Joe, that's Battle Action Force.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard one to pass up. Like I'm over here supposed to be like not spending so much money on collectibles and junk like that. But the books, the books are my weakness. So this this is something that I may get it.
You came on the wrong show if you're trying.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about it anyway. But I was just in Europe in March and I only have like 25 euro left, so I don't have enough.
They will convert your American dollars to euro for you, though.
No shit.
They will.
Ask for it for Christmas.
All right, maybe I can do. All right, well, maybe I can swing it then.
If you go to the website listed on the screen there, totaltoybooks.com, it'll give you all the details, and they will take your pre-order and they will just convert your purchase from American dollars to euro right there on the site. No snappy comeback. Nothing.
I did my thing about the euro, and I did the swear word. I did the swear word.
Blown away by the intricacies of international finance.
He did give us a spirited no shit, so I guess I can't ask for a whole lot more.
I can only do so much. I can't carry the show. Come on. I can drag it down.
Surveillance Port mistakenly referring to these as blimey bucks. No, that's the pound. These are euro.
Yes. Yeah.
These guys are Irish. They're on the euro.
That's correct.
Doug Dello, because he's a smart one, has already pre-ordered this book series. So there you go.
Well done. Smart.
Good man, Doug Dello. It's because we tell him it's because we sent you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important part. Plug the damn show, Doug.
The books are a weakness for me. That may be something that I will still have to do. Books are my El Guapo, so I may still pick some up.
Michael Gene Fleming, bedtime. Got to go to work tomorrow, so I can start saving for the Battle Action Force early bird bundle. Good night, y'all. There you go.
So we're all a little less safe right now as the Marine is off duty.
Well, that's Dennis.
The Marine son.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that Dennis is the gunny.
Dennis is still around. Good.
Right. Probably. We hope.
Maybe. We'll see. Here's how we'll find out. I'll call him a soldier again, and we'll see what happens.
The surveillance port going to be leading a meeting at 0700. Too bad for those people. I'm going to be tired.
Tired and slap happy.
Oh my God. So again, head over to totaltoybooks.com. You can check out not only this offering, but everything that Total Toy Books has to get you to turn the pages. You can't go wrong with Patty Lennon and Brian Hickey. They've been on the show a couple times before. You know Patty and Brian. You love Patty and Brian. Tell them what's on Joe Mind sent you.
They're the Irish tag team champions.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Look! Ha ha! I summoned him. Thank you, Dennis.
He called you Carrot Head.
I called him soldier.
Well, fair enough.
I think I earned that.
Thank you for keeping it G-rated, Dennis. Thank you for keeping it family friendly.
Dennis knows that Army stands for ain't ready to be a Marine yet.
Oh, goodness. Next news item.
Do. Marines.
While we got you reading, July 10th listed finally the Cobra Commander trade paperback from Skybound. I know we had this on the calendar a couple weeks ago. Just wanted to make sure that we got word out that it turns up that it listed again for this coming Wednesday, tomorrow. Yeah, so I don't know what the story is on this. I have all the singles, so I'm not interested in picking this up necessarily. But yeah, if you were looking for the trade, tomorrow's your day.
It is on the list of arrivals for this week at the comic book shop. I just checked. So
yeah,
looks
again,
like all things are go.
Same thing as a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't there. So who knows?
I checked the comic books store's website.
As George Fijusko says, the Commander is a hard one to catch.
He's elusive.
Next news item.
I'm just impressed with the pronunciation on Fijusko.
I don't know if it's right, but I went with conviction, so that's all we're going on.
I would call him like buddy or big guy or playa or chief or pal.
Big George.
Before I
George
dove
F.
into that, man. Yeah. Oh, and one more thing. Do. The Fijusko.
Some other Skybound bits. Also tomorrow, Transformers 10. And then on the 17th, finally, some Joe books, Destro #2 and Real American Hero 308.
The last time I went in, day of for a Joe comic, they didn't have it.
George Fijusko, nice job, Mike. You got it. Blam.
I'm impressed. I was, as a sports reporter, when he first got called up, I was looking at the pitching matchups, and the Chicago White Sox called up Mark Burley, Buehrle, and I looked at that on the newswire and went, "Yeah, nope." I had no idea how we're pronouncing this, so we're just gonna skip. We're gonna skip that little bump.
Just put a line through that item and move on. Let the professionals get that one.
What are the odds that random call up Mark Buehrle is going to turn into anything anyway? We'll just file that one right here. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's more bits from Skybound. Be sure to pick up all your Joe books from your local comic shop. They always need your support. Next news item.
Do.
And that's it. Remember that the 3D G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast is happy to present Chalky Tank Kitty and his Meowler Tank. And he's even got a front row seat this week. How about that? Right there.
Look at that.
And that barrel will fit Valaverse blast effects. So.
Yes, it will. Order your muzzle flash. Only $3. Some people order those. They cost $3. You get 3 muzzle flashes, right? Some people order those and that's it.
Okay.
Because Valaverse offers $8 flat shipping domestically, right? Anything you want, everything you want, $8. Some people buy a $3 muzzle flash and pay $8 shipping on it. Like how they really need their muzzles to flash.
They're just so good that 3 of them for $11 is still a steal.
It's still a deal. Email of the week. We sell a Crimson Arsenal tin with like 800 weapons in it. A guy emailed and said, I'm considering buying it. Can I get all the weapons in black? And I'm like, buddy, this isn't like asking for no onions on your burger, right? Like,
right.
I said, I was nice, but I said, unfortunately, we don't have the capacity to make our products made to order. But maybe you can find someone who wants all green and someone who wants all tan, and you guys can buy 3.
Right. Swap them around.
What are we doing? Come on now.
Oh, that's the news. We'll be back with you in just a second after a quick moment. Our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
And we caught Rob trying to escape.
Not to besmirch it, because I've never been. Is it really beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana?
It is, actually. They've
It's
done
not
a nice
bad.
job fixing it up.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a quaint little place. But you know, downtown it's essentially a city that's sprung up to, you know, a small city of people that work in the local factories. So, you know, anyways, it's just a big suburb. But we did get a couple of letters.
Ooh.
Coming out of the gate here. Hey guys, Rob's out. Just thought I'd share this with you.
I'm still
love
here.
chatting with you guys and can't wait for the next Joe Fest to hang out with fellow fans and YouTube greats. No, I didn't partake of the cake. That's from Jason Griffith. That's too bad, man, because the cake was an absolute win.
Yeah. But
Cake was good. The cake was good.
But Jason did send along this photo
pretty good.
to prove he was there. And that's Rob in a t-shirt, just to show that no, we were not kidding around. This is before I changed into the t-shirt. Saturday morning, I had this shirt on, and then by the time the afternoon rolled around, it was ready to be laundered. So I switched into the What's on Joe Mind blues for the afternoon and the panel. But it's all right. It proof that Rob will occasionally wear a t-shirt. And second letter. Hey, Mike, what cartoon did you and Rob look forward to seeing every Saturday morning? That's from Zaymot CGC. And I can say this without conference, without even stopping to ask. The answer to that one is Super Friends, without question. Every week. The year they canceled Super Friends, we sat there. You know, they used to have that preview show for all the coming season Saturday morning cartoons. And I think it was 1986 when they took Super Friends off. Rob and I sat in front of the TV with our mouths hanging open for a solid 10 minutes after the end of that show. It was a rough day. It's a rough night, but Super Friends is the one. I'm going to go ahead and extend this question to our other folks on the program. Brian, what Saturday morning did you look forward to, or what cartoon did you look forward to seeing every Saturday morning?
Snorks.
Mark Weber, what cartoon did you look forward to seeing every Saturday morning?
I mean, I wasn't going to
perhaps with big honcho Mike Weber and his mustache.
Right. The one for us, I forget if it was a 1 or a 2 hour block, but it was just a straight Looney Tunes, right? I think it was a 2 hour block of Looney Tunes, man. Because the local TV show in Oregon, Ramblin' Rod, he would have, it was a half-hour show. You'd get like 3 cartoons, and sometimes they were like the old black and white Popeye cartoons,
yeah,
which are hysterical now. But as a kid, man, I would rather watch one Roadrunner than 40 Popeye cartoons, right? So the local daily cartoon show was kind of hit and miss. But man, on Saturday, you had that Looney Tunes block, and it was sensational. So that was always our favorite. But we were always rooting for Roadrunner #1. I think anything Bugs, probably #2. And then I think almost all of it was good. Sylvester and Tweety was probably down at the bottom. Not kind of the same joke, except the one where they had the entire yard full of bulldogs, and Sylvester had to try to get past them over and over again to get to Tweety.
I mean, Mark, I'm going to pull this into focus a little bit. I don't think you could say I was in for Roadrunner and Coyote and then criticize Sylvester and Tweety for being the same joke.
Yeah, but the Roadrunner is endearing. Tweety is kind of a little bastard.
That's true. That's true.
I'm a cat guy. So it's kind of like Tom and Jerry, right? I was rooting for Tom all the time. Eat that mouse. So anyway,
Jerry was a stiff, right? He was the worst character on his own show.
Yeah, didn't like Jerry. Of course, I'm the guy who boos Cody Rhodes. So yeah.
But Brian, do you want to give a real answer now, or do I have to kick you out again?
That wasn't his answer.
I don't know. I really was like glued to the TV all morning, so it's hard for me to pick one, which is why I picked that one. But like, I remember enjoying Gilligan's Planet. No, there was an Archie and Jughead. I didn't have very refined taste as a child. I think Wuzzles was on there, and like Rubik the Magic Cube or some junk like that. I don't know.
Oh boy.
You know, basically, you know, whatever.
Turbo Team.
I was frankly my parents let me, you know, out of the basement. So I was just thrilled to be there. I was thrilled to get to use the TV. So
the sunlight could get through the window and hit you in the face.
Yeah. They gave me like real cereal with you know, with milk, you know, and
you weren't just eating Weetabix.
Yeah, so it was delightful. Delightful childhood. Loved the cartoons.
See, Looney Tunes for us, those were always that would be the cartoon that we watched with my dad. Like that was the dad show, because Dad would sit and watch Roadrunner Coyote with us. So that's the answer to that question. But Phil Donnelly says the answer to this question should always be Freakazoid. By the time Freakazoid was on, Rob and I were in college.
Yeah,
because Phil is a tiny youngster. But I did catch Freakazoid as often as possible. My roommate, again, Brent, he would often record Freakazoid because a lot of times I would have some kind of activity somewhere else on campus that I couldn't watch Freakazoid. So he did me a solid on that one. And then I went and I destroyed his Gargoyles figures.
Oh.
But Torpedo Mike asks, how young is Phil? Phil is about 26 years old, I think. And he's clearly just flexing his dumb.
I would have to say it was Heathcliff. Heathcliff was probably the best cartoon.
Heathcliff.
I remember Heathcliff. And somebody mentioned the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. That was also a winner.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thrilled to be, you know, on the first floor of the house.
Firefly is asking, what on earth is Gilligan's Planet? And the answer to that is Gilligan's Planet was never on Earth. That was the whole hook of the show.
Yeah. They were lost in space as opposed
Right.
to a deserted desert isle.
Yeah.
Right.
You couldn't just do a cartoon version of the TV show. You had to give it a twist.
Mhm.
I give them credit for using the voices of the original cast, with the exception of Ginger, who wanted nothing to do with it.
I have really derailed the show if we are, waxing about Gilligan's Planet.
Right.
This
Gilligan's
is how-
Planet nobody's ever clamoring for that before the show starts in the live chat, are they?
Probably doesn't even have its own podcast.
Probably not.
Oh, Phil's pulled out a winner.
I'm not going there. That's another 15 minutes we don't need.
we need to get Schlepsky on for that one.
Right. Because he'd be down. But that's it for post sock right there. That's a little quick. Remember, if you have a question for the team, any kind of question, any kind of correspondence, you've seen this email a lot tonight. But what's on joemind@gmail.com. We're happy to talk about anything. If you ask us something that requires a whole discussion, we'll even make its own bonus episode out of it. So what's on joemind@gmail.com. If you have anything that you want to discuss, you want us to discuss here on the big program. We're just need to start pulling this one in, man. But Brian, you're our guest tonight. What'd you get in lately? What you got in?
Oh well, I mean, I got the After Action Report, History of G.I. Joe number 21. So that just came in. That is actually what I recently got in. Oh, and where was that? A DVD. Oh yeah, a DVD copy of This Is Spinal Tap, because apparently it isn't streaming anywhere.
No.
No, it's not.
We should. The internet is useless. We should just give it up now. Because Marianne hadn't seen it, so we got that, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm actually not spending large bundles on collectibles right now. I'm doing it. I'm living the dream.
Just books.
Yeah, well, yeah, just books. I got Carson's book back there, but that didn't just come in this week.
Right, but Patty and Brian's books, they're out there. They're waiting for you.
Yes. Well, yes.
Yeah, I got to figure out how I'm going to pay for that too. Rock time, Rob. What'd you get in?
Let's see. I don't know if I did this last week, but before we left for Joe Con, this showed up on the door.
Yeah,
Nice.
we got that already.
It looks huge.
And let's see. Since then, we got
Where you go?
we got Torch,
He's so good.
Nice.
That's a good figure.
and we got Naugahyde.
He's got a pig and a monkey,
With his ribs on the hoof. And his one-eyed monkey.
Pork
You look
belly
eye-patch.
again. As with most of the animals, pork belly is the winner of that team.
Can you say one-eyed monkey on this show? Is that
I just did.
Okay.
Look, that's what he is. We're not.
okay.
It's not a euphemism.
Oh,
So
all right. I don't know. There's been no bleeping so far, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah,
Talk
and
about
apparently I'm getting Jinx tomorrow, but that'll be another time.
Rob's getting Jinx tomorrow, so I will get Jinx sometime in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Although, hey, the Dreadnoks, your Dreadnoks and my Dreadnoks have showed up at the same time.
Mark Weber,
Oh yes.
what'd you get in?
So I've got the same Naugahyde that Rob showed off, but you can also see the Cobra logo on the shirt on my wall, because the Cobra logo is more iconic than any G.I. Joe logo ever has been.
Right.
But just from a brand manager perspective, is there a reason why the Cobra logo and the G.I. Joe logo are so small on this with all that available black space?
I am in agreement with this. I that is a fair comment.
Ugh.
My question is more along the lines of we did see the Dreadnought logo when they put Zartan out a couple years ago, and we've never seen it again.
Right?
So, I mean, where's the Dreadnought logo is my question.
And on the ferret, on the top of the box here, the Cobra logo was offset, so it was truncated by the side of the box. What's the point of choosing to truncate your own iconic logo? I'm again, it's not a big deal, but yeah.
And the design of the packaging of the latest round of figures is
kind of
lackluster.
Yeah.
Something I've been really happy about. I think these are called blockies. I bought 3 of them on eBay. They come in blind boxes, but I'm not interested in buying 20 blind boxes to get the 2 guys I like. So I got Prowl and Skywarp, but this one's my favorite. Look at this badass little Grimlock. He doesn't transform, but dig it. They even gave him his little T-Rex arms on the back.
Right.
He's pretty cool. And you assemble them yourself. They click together easy. It was one of my favorite toys of the whole year, which is, it's kind of ridiculous in its simplicity, but that Grimlock's full of wind. Pretty happy.
Hey, sometimes a toy being fun is just enough, right?
Right? Who knew? And then actually the biggest win, I was going through boxes down low, and this is an old story, but I'll keep it short. I only worked for a couple different people at McFarlane, but for the longest stretch, I worked for Carmen Bryant, who was head of marketing and PR and lots of stuff. Wonderful, wonderful gal. I was sitting at her desk one day, or sitting in her office one day, and she was looking around her desk, which was busy but organized. And she said, I got to shake things up in here. I've been looking at the same stuff for a decade, it feels like. And I pointed at something on her desk and said, I'll take that out of here right now. And she said, it's yours. And she handed it to me. It was in a box downstairs, but it's going to my Valaverse office. Look at this badass. Right? I can't tell you how many times I sat in her office and looked at this and went, that should be mine. I don't think she's as big a Max fan as I am. So give me the Max. So very happy that I located this in the basement and now it's going to work. That's what I got it.
There you go. I don't think I got anything that was too terribly new, or like everything I got is the same stuff that Rob got, so I'm not worried about it.
Just one day later.
Right. I'm not messing with it. It ain't no good. But I do plan on getting some proper photos of all the stuff that I picked up at Joe Fest. I know I haven't really gone through that very well here on the show, so we'll try and get it up in the other social media so that folks can see it there. Get a better look at the image that Hans Chow made for us, and all the figures and all that other cool stuff. But we'll get some stills up and get it on the Instagram at some point soon. Shout outs, Brian, you're our guest. Who we shout out to?
Shout out to Marianne, who attended her second Joe Fest this year.
I noticed she bailed on us. She has not been in live chat.
So she's got a busy evening right now, but she was here earlier. But I'll show her the no shout out to this guy. No.
Oh.
But
he just got banned.
Yeah, that's right. Banhammer. But yeah, Marianne is now a big fan of those shows. She wants to keep going back. She never really had any interest in G.I. Joe, but she likes the people. So there's no accounting for taste. So I guess since
sounds like she might not get out enough.
Yeah, it's possible. So yeah, I'll take her there so she can interact with people and have friends, whatever. And then I'll take her and put her back in the closet. But in all seriousness, shout out to Marianne. It was a really fantastic weekend.
He's back. So you can't keep Alistair away. You can't keep him away.
I do what I want.
You can't avoid the void.
My apologies. I was really hoping to be able to open this for you guys and do a special event, like an opening of the Gung Ho, but out of time. Maybe next time.
Right. We'll have you back on at some point next year, perhaps. I don't know. You're retired. You're tough to get a hold of.
Yeah.
He's always out on the lake with the fishing pole.
I'll be on a beach somewhere, no cell service.
Golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't all the lakes in Oklahoma, aren't they just dried out? There's just like craters.
The lakes it depends on where you go, but the lakes in Oklahoma are generally unpleasant and rocky. You can swim in them. Well, okay, sometimes, but they have this blue algae that's like flesh eating. So don't swim when that's going on.
It's mildly flesh eating.
Yeah,
It's kind of rough to make the flesh eating algae blue.
It's good. It's good for fishing. I mean, don't eat them, but you can catch fish in there.
Wreck
Then
time,
throw
Rob.
them back before they eat your flesh.
Derail the show again. Rob, save us.
Who we shout out to, Rob?
Shout out to Brian. Thanks for coming on tonight. Yes, you. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And of course, thank you to the studio audience who's been putting up with a show full of empty blather and slow news week.
Yeah.
Phil Donnelly asks, I thought once you retired in Oklahoma, you took up the prestigious hobby of butter sculpture.
It's I think it's my turn to do the butter sculpture at the state fair this time. Yeah. So I was going to do gung ho. So yeah, look forward to that.
Dustin Jeffrey wants to put a shout out to Timmer out there, and I think that's a valid one for you.
Thank you, Timmer.
Yeah, he has assumed most of the administrative responsibilities of Cobra Convergence 8 this year, so it is still happening. There's still people putting out all kinds of cool stuff. This is our extremely epic, lazy attempt to do some Cobra Convergence material. So we figured why not get the guy who found it and then kicked us all out onto the open water without a rudder.
It's what I do.
Jab along in Toy City says, "Empty blather for the win." That's our guy right there. Welcome to the show.
These
sir.
are people,
sir or ma'am. I can't tell from Jab along in Toy City.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That's a pretty gender neutral name, so I have to
whoever
cover my bases.
he or
there.
she is, they are our people.
They are our people. Who else we got, Rob?
That's about it.
All right, good enough. Hot Show Mark Weber.
Shout out to the hundreds and hundreds of people who ordered the Bone Collector at Valaverse.com on Monday. I'll try to get your order filled sometime in the next month. No, they should all be out tomorrow, I think. Pretty good turnaround, but big success. Happy about that. And shout out to my old friend Ryan Kelly, a sales guy from McFarland who I've stayed in touch with over the years, who happened to be in town one night only tonight. So he flew into Boston at like 5. So we met in the middle. So that's why I was late to the show. But not too many people from my Oregon and Arizona roots end up just cycling through New England. So anytime somebody comes out, I always do my best to make an effort and have some dinner, or at least say hello. So it was really good to see Ryan tonight. So apologies for my 30-minute delay. Oh, and to King Grimlock. Yes, Grimlock.
I mean, I guess we did get through a whole slide
without me
in community calendar without you. So I guess kind of.
They said it couldn't be done.
But again, we our opening segment was more or less road tales from the Buckies.
Yeah,
and you wouldn't have had any of those.
Nope.
So
nope.
Because again, you were in the car with us all weekend, but you came in late and bailed out early because you flew.
I avoided the Buckies.
We did get you some brisket though.
It was good.
That's right.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was good. It was
Appreciate
legit.
that. I appreciate that.
That's what we do. That's what we do here. We get you gas station brisket.
Football and crab cakes. That's what Maryland does.
Here at What's on Joe Mind, we are the finest provocateurs of gas station brisket. Anyways,
Oddly
My
enough.
ancestors came over on the sandwich.
Surprisingly, yes, that is true.
I will reiterate Rob's call out to our live audience. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're catching us on recording, hey, we love you too. Whatever you do, just make sure that if you're here on the YouTube, do all the cool YouTube stuff. Hit those buttons that kind of lurk around the middle of the box these days. Like the channel, like the program, subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends, leave comments, share us in your various internet circles, be that Facebook groups or Reddit pages or what have you. Give us some clicks, basically. Right clicks, left clicks, all the good clicks. If you're catching us on Facebook tonight, give us some kind of a reaction. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy. And of course, if you're one of our audio only listeners, you can get us wherever you find your podcasts. But we thank you too. There's still several hundred of you guys that catch us every month. So much appreciated for sticking with us there. And anytime I start to do the challenge, that's when our live viewership starts to dip because they know the end is coming. They don't get to watch the cool stuff in the end sequence. Oh no, they're too good for that. I've asked them to click shit, so now we're gonna leave.
Now they're gonna miss out on those winning lottery numbers,
right? For the, anyways, Mark.
We've got somebody in the audience living in Wednesday. We can do this.
That's right. We know these things now.
We can.
Anyways, shout outs, of course, to our wonderful friends at Kokomo Toys, our lovely sponsors. We'll sing the theme song one more time. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys.
I sung along, but it was not very loud.
Sure, whatever. We'll send an extra bonus shout out to our friends at Roma Collectibles for sponsoring the community calendar segment of the show and offer our encouragement. Remind all of you to get out for Aaron's auction on Sunday. I know "get out" is kind of a weird term, but remember, it's online. That is at the Route 68 Toy Mall Facebook page, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Don't miss it. Be there or be conical. I don't know. Also want to give a shout out to our wonderful friends over at I lost the button.
Oh man.
Bandcamp podcast.
Hey.
New episodes drop Tuesdays and Thursdays, as you can see there on the side. Perfect for anyone who hates censorship. Bandcamp features the hilarious duo of Jennifer and Dan. It's a comedy podcast where they read banned books and try to figure out why they were banned in the first place. This season, they are taking down one chapter at a time. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, which is not a book that I am familiar with at all. They're only in chapter 5, so it's a good chance for all of us to go back and check that one out. If you think banning books will lead to a not so great future, then and really it won't. Bandcamp is for you, whether you're like Jennifer and curious to read the book for the first time, or you're like Dan and a little too lazy to read it for yourself. You'll love Bandcamp. They'll do all that reading without that pesky reading. Mark, you trying to get the cat ears on Jennifer there?
Kinda. I'm just trying not to get bit.
That show does sound like it is right up my alley. I shall partake in that show.
There you
And
go.
I was gonna apologize for saying swears, but you reminded me that we're against the censorship, so I'm not sorry anymore.
No. Again, the only reason we ever bleeped is because bleeping was fucking funny. That's it. It's the only reason. But and of course, shout out to Colin for joining us late. Shout out to Alistair the Black for joining us at several points during the show today. Getting our click counts cut up and making us a hit on the TikToks. It's time to go. But for our special guest host, Brian Lower, Hood of Cobra Commander 788, for Racktime Rob, for the Honcho Mark Weber, I'm Mike Irizarry. Be sure to join us next Tuesday for another exciting episode of What's on Joe Mind. We will have another wonderful guest host lined up for you. I have to confirm that before I go ahead and announce it, but suffice to say, it should work out okay. But that's what we got. As our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. Be sure to join us next week at 9:05 Eastern for another episode. Have a great week. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.